These images, whatever way you look at it, it has caused a storm heading into the Melbourne Test match. When Virat Kohli came out of the Melbourne airport, where is the location? Again, please remember that, Melbourne airport. At that time, he objected that the focus was on his family and his kids. Virat then confronted a journalist, and then later on, he was heard saying, "You cannot film my family, I need privacy, you have to take my permission for it." Now it's a culture shock for many Australians who are there in Australia, because certain privacy laws in a public space don't apply. It just doesn't apply. Now, looking at the sequence of events, it was later sorted out when the permission was there, although Channel 7 and some of the others have stated that they never shot the kids' footage. It was never done. Now, one particular Australian commentator who has been with Channel 9 for close to 30 years has given his side of the story also. The journalist who was confronted, he has stood up for her. Because in an interview that he's given with the radio station 3AW, at that time, Tony Jones, who's working for Channel 9, he stated, a Channel 7 reporter was with his cameraman and they were doing what we do on a daily basis, essentially. Be at the airport to actually get identities, whether they are politicians, whether they are sporting identities or whatever. Australia's laws clearly state that there is no permission needed. If you're a journalist working there, you don't need permission to shoot a particular individual in a public space. If it's a private space, then there is a problem. But the airport isn't a private space. It's a public space where Virat is coming out. So that was what the individuals were doing there. The journalists, whether you like it or not, were actually doing a job. But many people will want to always target the journalist because it is Virat Kohli. And overall, he has stated, he took umbrage. Umbrage meaning he took offense. He being Virat Kohli to the fact cameras were focused on him. You're a batting superstar. You're a global superstar in the cricketing world. And he takes umbrage to the fact that attention is focused on him. Point number 2. If you're a public personality, you sign up for the attention. It's not as if you're a public personality and you can avoid any kind of attention. It doesn't work in India. It doesn't work in the United Kingdom. It doesn't work in the US. If you're a public personality, you sign up for the attention. If that is not the case, then you cannot have the cake and eat it too. So this is where he took umbrage. He being Virat Kohli to the fact cameras are focused on him. The allegation was that they were focusing on the children, Akai and Vamika. But it did really happen because Channel 7 and Channel 9 have categorically denied that they were shooting them. On the other hand, he turned around. This is one allegation which is quite serious which he's making. In that he stated, he turned around to the 3 blokes, the 2 cameramen and the reporter from Channel 7 and said, "You guys are okay, it's her. Really? Big tough man Virat." Now this is where things become complicated. Whether this was done, whether this happened, that remains to be seen. At that point he said, and then he stood over this girl, Nat Ionidis, who's about 5'1", 5'2", and just absolutely berated her. "You're nothing but a bully, Virat." Very strong words. Whether he berated the journalist, that we do not know. That we cannot confirm on Sports Today whether he berated her. At this point in time, "You're nothing but a bully, Virat," is once again stirring up the cauldron. Now, a very important situation has to come out of these 2 things. The so-called India-Australia media tensions, simple word, it's unnecessary. Someone is speaking in Hindi in a foreign country, at least you could have made provisions that, okay, many people will not know Hindi. At least have a translator there. That wasn't taken care of. The communication was not there. Number two. Number three, if Virat is touchy about privacy in a country which is foreign to him, then there are problems. And looking at the past history, where Virat and Anushka have both raised an issue that, oh, why did Supersport show Vamika's footage in Newlands? This is where you have to draw the line. Journalists, broadcasters have a certain job to do. He is a personality, a public personality. Australia's laws do not state that, oh, you cannot shoot a public personality. Here, it is an easy target for people. Journalists will be heckled. Journalists will be asked the question, why Virat? But isn't he a public personality? Isn't he being too touchy on his privacy? Where does one stand on this debate? That we will not know at this stage. Because whenever it comes to these particular topics, it's a very, very touchy one. And unfortunately, when you look at it, because of Indian cricket, because of the Indian people ethos, it will always be divided. What are your views on this? You can write to us in the comments below. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.